Prosper, Texas versus Celina, Texas. Which Dallas suburb is best? Prosper or Celina, the two fastest growing suburbs in Dallas. Which one will you choose?
But before we start, I'm Holly Haven.
And I'm Andy Haven.
And we are the Haven Home Team.
Prosper and Celina, while one offers top-rated schools and very luxurious homes,
the other is booming with new developments and investment opportunities.
But choosing the wrong one could mean higher home prices, longer commutes, and not getting the community vibe that you're looking for.
In this video, we will break down the pros and cons of each, from housing prices to amenities, commutes, even schools.
Plus some fun facts and extra things you need to know about Prosper and Celina throughout the rest of the video.
Point number 1, home prices and real estate market. In February, homes in Prosper averaged around 96 days to sell, but there is a ton of development and growth still happening in Prosper. There are older, well-established neighborhoods like Gentle Creek and Whispering Farms, as well as newer communities and neighborhoods like Star Trail and Windsong Ranch. There are also still plenty of commercial developments like the expansion at Gates of Prosper with Total Wine and REI, both very exciting. These projects help boost the local economy by bringing in additional tax revenue. It helps boost up the community and really just is a big driver for people looking to move in. These are some large box stores which bring some convenience to the community members, and it's really needed right now. We've had a big growth phase in the residential side, and now we're excited to see the commercial side grow.
In Celina, homes are more affordable for families with the average sale price of $644,000 and the price per square foot right around $213. Homes in Celina take on average about 94 days to sell. The city of Celina is growing with lots of new construction neighborhoods, big commercial infrastructure, and large parks near downtown Celina that help bring the community together. Celina is undergoing significant development with a large parking garage going right behind the library to allow for more events, more parking spaces so that people don't have to park on your lawn. That's something that a lot of people from Celina have it's a hard spot with them when it comes to events. So that'll be nice and also allow for larger events to occur in downtown. We also have the expansion of Wilson Creek Park and utility upgrades that will help the entire community, such as power lines and sewer lines, so that people are able to build bigger homes and bigger neighborhoods, and we are able to withhold the growth in Celina. We also have the expansion of Wilson Creek Park and the improvements of utilities to help developers while they are developing such large communities and master plan communities across the city of Celina. Both towns are growing and changing, but they each have something unique and tranquil to offer.
On to number 2, schools and education. Prosper ISD is considered one of the best school districts in Texas. It ranks 24th out of 883 districts with an A+ rating. There are 18 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, and 3 high schools with a 4th already on the way. Prosper ISD has a graduation rate of 99.2% and serves over 29,000 students. The district is known for strong academics and a caring community, while also being known as one of the fastest growing districts in Texas.
Celina ISD ranks 161 out of 883 districts with an A- rating. The district has 4 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. Celina ISD has always ranked really high in test scores at the top 25% of Texas school ratings. With only around 5,000 students in Celina ISD, the district is growing super fast, and that's something that we want to note with our ranking of 161 out of 883. It is a much smaller school district, so whenever we're comparing to a much larger district, you are going to see smaller districts lower on the rankings. Celina High School is actually currently undergoing a massive renovation that is going to allow to double the amount of students that will be able to be in the school. They're also adding on a massive culinary division that's going to overlook Celina High School football stadium. And it will also allow for a culinary restaurant to be run by high school students and will be open to the public. So this will be a really cool addition to see at Celina High School. Both Prosper and Celina are really amazing areas and offer different things for different families. This is why we're doing this video, so that you can find out which one works for you.
Point number 3, lifestyle and amenities. Prosper is a busy and welcoming, growing town with plenty of retail, but this is pretty new. We finally have Walmart with the Gates of Prosper expansion. We will have Total Wine, as we discussed earlier. We also have a large Dick's Sporting Goods, as well as Ulta, Sephora, and many other opportunities for local shopping. For large big box restaurants, you're going to have things like Outback and Gloria's and Texas Roadhouse. So these really meet the needs of the growing town so that families just have a place after that football game to stop and grab a bite to eat. We don't want to forget those smaller family-owned businesses like 1418 Coffee, The Gin, and the newly opened Tavern in downtown Prosper. Families enjoy the conveniences and the community, but also the location. It makes commuting to Dallas or Plano a really simple commute because you have access to the Dallas North Tollway, which is just a nice central location for most people. Prosper really has a mix of family-friendly, small-town feel with all the conveniences you're looking for, and it really has opportunities for pretty much anyone looking to move to the area.
Celina is a quiet city that is growing fast and is full of promise. Even though it's a little bit smaller than what Prosper has to offer, there's new stores and restaurants opening every day. The town plans to build an entertainment district and many mixed-use projects in the future. In Celina, people enjoy local events such as Friday night markets, Friday night football games in the fall, and fun seasonal events such as Beware of the Square in none other than Celina Square. Many families like the calm and growing spirit of Celina and wish it would stay small forever. It truly is a great place to raise a family.
Point number 4, commute and accessibility. Prosper is very centrally located and it's easy to navigate for a commute. You have access to Highway 380, which is going to take you to the big east and west corridors, as well as Preston Road and Dallas North Tollway. All of this makes a simple drive to downtown Dallas 35-ish minutes, but you can get to Frisco and Plano really in under half an hour. All right, Andy, how do we feel about that Celina commute?
So Celina is going to be just a bit further, just about 5 minutes north, but it can go up to even 15 minutes north depending how far you live out in Celina. Something a lot of people don't know is actually the landmass of Celina is actually bigger than the city of Frisco. So it is something that at some point Celina's growth will be absolutely massive. So with all of the highway expansions, we have the outer loop that's going to make transportation and our commutes so much easier. At some point, depending on the towns around us, the outer loop should stretch all the way from Highway 35 all the way to Highway 75, making it really easy to access those free highways that we have so that you're not having to take the Dallas North Tollway everywhere. Even though Celina is just a little bit more remote than Prosper is today, these roads will make the commute just a little bit easier and faster for people moving to Celina.
And that is definitely creating that growth opportunity that we're seeing. Point number 5, future growth and investment potential. So we moved to Prosper initially 2013, I think. And it was really kind of rural. We didn't even have a grocery store.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I mean, now looking at Prosper, like seeing that there's a Kroger and a Walmart truly blows my mind. It's something that when we moved here, I'm like, Mom, you're serious? Like we have to drive all the way to Frisco? Like it was not that big of a deal, but now I'm like, thank goodness for that Kroger.
So it's been really interesting to kind of watch how that growth pattern has moved. We spent 10 plus years in Prosper. Then we made that move north to Celina, smaller, growing town. We kind of wanted to feel that small town feel again, which we have, but it's growing so fast.
I know. And I think the one thing that people like about Celina is that it is an attainable family home. The issue with Prosper is you have to be a more, I would say, middle to high class or high class family to afford a nice neighborhood and home in the city of Prosper. The thing about Celina is there's so many new communities that there's so many incentives and offers for people to get in the $400,000 and $500,000 and $600,000 price point, which in Prosper, as we saw, the average home price of $1 million just makes it a little less attainable for some of these younger families.
Absolutely. So when we start talking about things like investment potential, we always look at our housing investment as a financial investment. This isn't just buying in the perfect community, buying the perfect house, buying the house that you want, but you have to look at not only your budget, but what you want that money to do for you.
Well, and I think that's a big deal about why people are currently moving to Celina. It's the same reason we moved to Prosper in 2013. We saw that growth. We got that equity growth in Prosper, and now we moved to Celina and you have the equity growth here as well. So I think all the growth is just going to continue to go north. But right now, Celina is the fastest growing city in America. So it's something that people want to watch out for.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think both opportunities or both cities have great opportunities for investment still. Do you
Yeah.
agree with me?
Yeah, I do agree. I do think, though, that if you are a first-time investor, Celina is definitely more your cup of tea. But if you are somebody who has invested for many, many years, you have many doors, and this is something that you're just trying to add a few extra doors, and you have the cash flow for it, Prosper is obviously a really great opportunity. You will just have to invest a lot more cash.
So I think for anybody really looking at making this move and you're trying to pick what is the best city for me, what's the best town for me, my family, whatever our needs are, we really have to look at the whole picture. If you're looking for long-term future equity growth, we definitely are going to suggest you kind of move towards that Celina side.
Yeah, and I think if you're somebody who wants a more well-established neighborhood, maybe less HOAs, less PIDs, and less MUDs, you're going to want to stay in the Prosper area. That's somewhere where the more well-developed and older neighborhoods are going to have less of those things.
Absolutely. And there's a little better infrastructure already in Prosper. When we look at these existing communities that are a little bit older, we have usually lower utility bills because of infrastructure cost. And so those are one of the things that is coming up for Celina residents that people should be aware of. We have, you mentioned MUDs and PIDs. Those are basically a tax structure that is for infrastructure. It's put in by the developer when the new community goes in, and it's because these costs have become almost prohibitive for developers to go into these fast-growing cities. So really taking all these things into account, it does not make it a deal breaker for most people. You just need to know what you're looking at, what you're investing in, what you're getting into. You need to know that if you move to Celina today, your Walmart is not 5 minutes away, but there's one already ready to break ground. So we have the big box stores coming. We have the big commercial, kind of build outs happening in those investments. And it's really opening the doors for lots of smaller commercial investors who want to do small strip centers and things like that, where a lot of Prosper has been built out.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we should note here, that we are currently under a massive, massive infrastructure growth in Celina. We have Costco currently breaking ground. We will be getting a Lowe's, a Home Depot, an H-E-B, and a Walmart. There's a lot more stores that go into that. I also think for you foodies out there, we have Cava and Chipotle coming, which I know my husband's very excited about. So just a few things that make Celina residents just a little bit more excited for the growth. Even though I talked about earlier, they do want to keep the small town feel, the convenience will be nice for a lot of these families.
Yeah, and as much as I love all of this growth and how it is helping our investment in our homes and our land and the things that we have, I'm going to say my favorite thing right now is still, let's go to Celina downtown. Let's grab dinner and drinks at a family-owned restaurant. The food is all phenomenal down there, and great little boutiques and shopping for quick gifts and things. So if you need something, you can pretty much find it in downtown Celina. You just have to make it a point to know that you're not running into Walmart.
Yeah. We hope that if you've been trying to decide between moving to Prosper or moving into Celina, that this video brought you some clarity and kind of helped you see the pros and cons of what you might get. They are very similar, but they also have a few differences that just kind of set them apart.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop those comments below, shoot us an email, but before you leave, like and subscribe so that you get our weekly videos. We are the Haven Home Team, and we are here to help you become a Texan.
And we will see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.